I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a PayPal request for Charzino. One of two PayPal requests. Thank you so much, man, for that. I apologize for the lateness of it. If anyone is ever interested in... The lateness has just been very busy, but I'm trying to get 4 or so videos a day for you guys so that people don't have to wait too long. Again, I apologize. But if anyone's ever interested in sending a request for any type of video, you can do it either directly to my PayPal or via the Patreon, which there's certain tiers for certain things. But the review for today is Leave No Trace. Now, Leave No Trace is a film from 2018 that I'd never heard of, but it stars Ben Foster, who I do enjoy as an actor. I've enjoyed him in films like Pandorum, and he had a supporting role, I believe, in the Thomas Jane Punisher film from 2004. And yeah, I do like him as an actor, and he does a solid job here. Him and the girl who plays his daughter, I forget the actress's name, they both live in the woods. They both live off the grid in the forest, and a chunk of the first act of the film is minimal dialogue and them in these very lush, beautiful landscape of the forest, living off the land, making fire, eating eggs, and then using the shells for certain things. And even with that, you get little bits and pieces of the character. For example, Ben Foster's character is a war vet. He's suffering from a bit of PTSD. And the girl, she's enjoying this lifestyle. And the performances I thought were understated in a good way. They were not hamming it up. It wasn't over the top. This could go wrong very quickly. For example, that fucking Brie Larson film I reviewed with Woody Harrelson, The Glass Castle, where it's like, oh, this is the worst piece of shit father. Oh, it's based on a true story. Okay, he's still a piece of shit father. But are you supposed to be uplifting? Like, this... It's not doing the same thing, but it reminded me of that. But this is done much, much better. I like this a lot more than the Glass Castle. And again, the father-daughter, you really get the sense they care for each other. They're not mean, rude, crazy people. It's just sadly Ben Foster, he suffered a bit from PTSD, but it's not too overblown to the point it becomes a different movie. A thriller or psychological. It doesn't go tremendously that route, which, you know, I was fine with in this instance. And Ben Foster's character makes a bit of money by selling pills that he gets from a doctor, and he sells it to other people who need it. And one day they're out in the woods, and a jogger goes by, catches the little girl, sees her. She doesn't think he saw her. Then sometime later, some people come by, pretty much the cops, take him in, and give him these tests. And they, of course, assume the worst. Has he done anything to you? And she's like, no, he's my father. And then with Ben Foster, really the set of questions on this computer, just the lamest, dumbest, questions, but at the same time I buy these are the questions they would have him, like one of those stupid automated things, but instead of phone is with a computer. And I start to feel bad for these characters because, yeah, they were living off the grid, but they knew what they were doing, and they were happy, and they were not hurting anyone, and they care for each other, and even after the test, they hug, and they're caring for each other. But it also doesn't go into the one note, they're the villains, they being the people who caught them, and now it's us versus... It doesn't go that route. It keeps things on a natural front, which I appreciated. And actually, they set him up with another home, which looks nice. They set Ben Foster with a job with this guy who owns a tree farm where they get trees for Christmas or other reasonings. And actually, Jeff Kober has a big part. Sally's not in the film a lot, but I'm like, oh, it's Jeff Kober. He owns the tree farm. Jeff Kober from The First Power. See you around, buddy boy. So it was cool to see Jeff Kober in this. Again, it's a bit part. And pretty much through the film, it's... Some would say it's not much of a story, but I thought it was a natural little progression where the daughter starts wondering, is this really the type of life she wants? Because the father will never want to stay in one place, mainly because of his PTSD. Like, he feels too confined. If helicopters are passing by, he freaks out a little bit. But again, it never goes overboard. It never goes over dramatic. It never goes to huge leaps of logic or... Again, it felt... I don't want to say subtle, but it felt a natural progression, if that makes sense. And again, where Ben Foster, this is a good place. He should stay, but he can't stay. And again, the daughter, she cares for her dad, but at the same time, she doesn't really want to do it. And in a way, it's sort of the girl finding her independence and figuring out whether she wants to split from her dad. And there's a moment where she goes, the same thing that's wrong with you isn't what's wrong with me. And I didn't think this was a fantastic film to the point of I would not... Would I pick this up on Blu-ray? Would I ever watch it again? Probably not. Not because there's not really anything wrong with it. It's a fairly subdued film. It's a well-made, competent movie with great understated performances by lead characters, some really nice forest, wood locations, nice sweet little ending. Again, competently made. It's not something that I found so remarkable and amazing that this sounds like an insult, but it's not trying to be. I don't see myself remembering the movie much a month from now. I think that's the thing. When I think of a dramatic movie, because this is what it is. It's a drama. Shawshank Redemption, I still remember to this day, and I love. 127 Hours, I'll still remember. That's dramatic, but it's more of a other genres. Survival. This, again, it's very well made. I don't see myself remembering it tremendously throughout the years. But if someone mentions it, I'm like, you know what? Oh, I remember that. Yeah, a little bit. I think I remember liking it. So it's not that I'm going to forget it entirely, but it's not... I don't see it's a movie that's going to leave a huge lasting impression. But while you're watching, you go, it's a pretty decent movie. It's a pretty decent flick. There's really nothing wrong with it. Check it out if you're a Ben Foster fan like I am. Check it out if you watch the trailer and it interests you. It doesn't do anything that egregious. You really get the idea that the father-daughter do care for each other, and while the father has his flaws, he's not a bad guy at all. He's not. He really does care for his daughter. It's just with this thing on his shoulder, so to speak, it's hard for him to deal. I mean, part of me wonders if it should have gone more over dramatic or more forceful dramatic sequences. Maybe that would make it more of an impression, but at the same time that could be done very wrong and piss poorly. So I don't know, it just depends how you look at it. But overall, not a bad film. Pretty straightforward. No stupid twists or turns or stupid endings or anything of that nature. Did a nice sweet little film that, again, if you like Ben Foster, if you like the trailer, it's well worth a look. I think it's a movie that by the end you'll smile a bit, feel good a little bit, and again, check the trailer, see if it's your cup of tea. If you find it to watch on Netflix or whatever, not a bad film. But anyway, thank you Charzino for the request. Sorry it took a while. Thank you guys, take care, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.